Hi, I'm Ted from TedBrakes.com. We're here to show you how the front brakes work in the worst conditions. We'd done a video last week, but some of the people were concerned about whether water or something like that may make the brakes not hold well for the drag brake type system. We are working on a disc brake system. That's likely what will end up on it. But just to kind of eliminate any thoughts of what will or won't work, we're going to take the worst case scenario. This is what my wife mows every week when I have grass. I've planted grass here about 3 times, and I've always done some kind of excavating, or every time I plant grass we get 7 inches of rain. So last time I planted the grass we got 7 inches of rain, left a lot of ruts. I planted it really late in the fall. It was already getting cold. Only a little bit of it's come up. This is what my wife mows every week. She does normally mow with a roll bar. The only reason that mower doesn't have a roll bar on it is because I sold it to a customer a few weeks ago. So roll bar would definitely be on it, and we'll go back on it. But for today it's just cold, it's nasty. We had a little bit of rain last night, a little bit of snow. I don't have a clue how it's going to hold on this muddy bank back here, but we're going to give it a try just so you see that in the worst case, if it gets any worse than this, you don't need to be mowing it. This is a long berm. I don't mow it up and down. I mow it sideways. My wife mows it sideways. This hill was about almost twice as steep as it is right now. I took all the dirt that was piled up on this side over here, which is as high as what the top is. I took all of that dirt off and spread it to the bottom of that hill there just to make less of an incline. So it was a lot worse than this, and with that bad boy mower, my wife and I both mow it sideways, and every now and then it would slip and get away from us, and luckily we didn't have water or a road or something at the bottom of it, so it didn't really matter. So the brakes are what I came up with just for myself to start out with. So when it did start to get away, I could stop it safely. I have several other berms that are facing roads. One is facing a big ditch that if I went off in, it definitely would flip on over just like it was going into water. So I just wanted to be able to stop my mower when I wanted to. So we'll see how it does. There's no testing been done here. What you see is what I get. So we'll see what we got. Made on lawn site was that they were worried that if this Flintstone style drag brake were to get water, dog poop, anything on it like that, if you were hit a puddle, that they would not work and still cause you problems. So we're going to put some water on them, put some water on the hill, and just see what we got. So definitely I don't think water's going to affect anything to do here, but we're going to see. So I'm just going to come down slow to start with, and I am going to be using the brakes. It's going to get muddy. It's going to get the tire. I can still lock the tires up even though it is muddy. I'm just slowing it down, able to go without completely losing control. I'm going to go to the left a little bit. I'm going to go back to the right. And there's a lot of ruts. I'm just going to stop. And then we're going to try it a little bit faster if it'll go back up this hill. And yeah, it's tearing the ground up here. I wish I had some nice grass. I will this spring, but right now we've just planted some rye. We had 7 inches of rain after this was planted, and I just don't believe it's going to get any worse than this. It's really loose dirt. And I do mow this sideways, and I'm sliding sideways, but if it gets away from me, I'm still going to be able to stop. this is how I mow, and if it got away and I get down, I can stop. And as you can see, I can't back up. It's enough incline that without the brakes, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm really going to tear it up if I try to stop without the front brakes. So I'm going to come down slow and just use the brakes a little bit. And if I want to use them a little more, I can. And I was able to stop, and behind me I've not disturbed the ground hardly any. So I'm going to use a little brake. And I'm just going to let it roll down like I normally would without sliding the rear and still being able to slow it down. But whether you've got water on it or dirt or whatever, I think you're good to go. As you can see, this is pure mud where I poured this water out. And so we're going to get a little mud on the tires, and it still stops no problem. With 2,000 psi pressure on the pump, you're going to be able to stop this no matter what. So that's how you stop with a TedBrake. Okay, so even here on the grass, this is the other side of the dirt berm. It's actually a little steeper than the other side. The other side used to be steeper than this before I changed the dirt. We're going to pour some water out on the grass here. We all know that makes it slick, so. And I still have mud on the tires, so if it'll stop here, I think we'll be good. So with the front brakes, I can even stop it here. The water's not bothering me a bit. It may be affecting some. I felt the rear slip a little bit, but then I'm going to do it at speed a little bit faster. So the rear's actually not grabbing as good as the front because of the weight transfer. But the tires are still wet, they're muddy, and they still work.